I can count to potato. And I'm Werner Puchert, and this is Funding Frequency. Indeed, I'm not stupid. So today's been one of those days where, when you're a little bit frustrated and you just want to type stuff back to people. And in one instance today, I reminded myself of an old meme that made the rounds back in the day, like years ago. And it kind of plays out that, I'm not that stupid. I can count up to potato. And it's sometimes this happens to you. And I always say in the show, I'm trying to see the extraordinary in the ordinary, blah, 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 blah. But sometimes you have frustrating days. But indeed, they can also be extraordinary in themselves because you have to learn to handle those little knocks and understand how they come into play. And then also, frustratingly, also sometimes realize that you are also speaking from a privileged position. I kind of don't like always thinking like that. I remember when I was back in South Africa, I got mugged once. And I must say I'm a lucky South African because, I actually lived in South Africa, in a country I love so much. I didn't have a lot of violent stuff happen to me. I got slapped around in school because, as you know, I can be quite irritating. But I only had an incident once, a safety-related incident where a friend of mine and myself got mugged. I tried to bravely fight back until I fell out my one shoe. Sorry, I'm not crying. I'm choking on coffee. Sorry about that. So professional on this microphone. So professional. And where was I going with this? Oh, so this whole situation happened. I wasn't happy. It wasn't great. It didn't take too much stuff and it wasn't violent. But I also remember then people said to me, "Hey, Werner, you should be really lucky. It could have been so much worse." And I remember thinking to myself, screw that. I don't want to be thinking about so much worse. It's just, I should have the right to walk up and down my street not being attacked. And, even if bad things happen, don't settle for less. And kind of that's how I feel about it today when I thought about this whole potato incident that, I'm not that stupid. But also what I'm doing is that I'm trying to not press the send button on saying things like that, but then also trying to think about what is my role in this. And also from a conversation yesterday with my friend Jeff, we were catching up on microphones, by the way. How cool is that? I got him into the whole microphone thing. But, we started talking about where we are in our careers and what we want next. And even as an entrepreneur, it's important to select how you, choose how you select your customers. And I think it's something that's super important. And in fact, in a career perspective, also choose where you position yourself. If you want to be a director, then go for directorships. Don't screw around, or at least see a path clear to that space you want to be. Don't settle for less. That's probably also a space of privilege to speak from, because sometimes you need to be able to pay the rent. I do too. I also have to pay the rent. But don't settle for less. And also don't settle for everybody, because as much as I am very passionate about human-centered design, customer experience design, you know what? Some people, some customers, some users are assholes, and you don't have to do anything for them. So seek out the non-assholes, work with them, do the great things with them, surprise, delight them, and go out of your way to make them happy, because it will be reciprocal. That's the word I'm trying to think about, because you'll get it back. And even with a tough day, I can experience something extraordinary. Of course, I saw a photo of my son on a snowmobile. Don't worry, it wasn't moving. He was just sitting on it, smiling his ass off with a lollipop in his mouth. How can things not be extraordinary? And then I have one small little thing I want to add to my little extraordinary for the day. Well, there's two actually. The one is that I got a new set of headphone ear jobbies. So I have this set of Sony monitors that is apparently used in production studios. It's made for this kind of thing, and I always imagine myself to be a high-end producer when I have them on, but the pads were kind of getting worn out, and I got a new set all the way from Hong Kong. Nice new leather. It feels nice and tight on the old head. The noggin, it just feels great. It's something small but extraordinary. And then also, finally, don't judge me. My poor wife has been working really hard, and as part of her kind of routine, she's now decided to take a quick walk outside. I wanted to go with, but I have a meeting in a couple of minutes. And she has gone to the supermarket, and she's gonna pick us up a few snackies because mom and dad's alone at home. So we will eat some naughty food tonight, because we don't have to deal with craziness after eating too much sugar or MSG or whatever. So we'll be snacking away on some naughty stuff, which is in itself also extraordinary, just to have a little bit of a break, but then also missing our little boy. And every time we phone, I say to him, Francie, I'm crying here. I want you to come back. And his response is, Tata, don't cry. Don't cry, Tata. I'm coming back. So I think he misses us, perhaps a little bit. But at least I have you to talk to from time to time. So thank you once again for listening. And you've heard some of my little audio tourism things. I need to do some more work around that. I'm falling way behind in so many different projects that I want to do. But there is no whip waiting for me that I have to do this. So when the right ones come along, it will. And I want to invite you to reach out and submit. Let me know if you want to participate. I can tell you how. I would love to hear from you. So this is an open invitation to anybody listening. And I know there are people listening to this. I know you're there. I know you're listening. So reach out, participate, be part of this little adventure. And if you wonder what I'm talking about, go and look for the episode that Terry did and Mike. They gave us a little peek into their lives, and I would like to get a peek or a listen to yours. So, I'll leave it there and say thank you for listening.